Elden Ring is a vibe. This game has been a game that I have loved for a few years now. Loved it from the very start. I played it when it released, and I still love it now. I just wanted to make this video to just talk about how much I love the vibes of this game and how much everything just connects, and that I love the art direction, the music, the way everything is connected together in this world, which not only is it apparent in the land, but also the NPCs, and how they're all connected in certain different ways. And I just really, really love that a lot. This game is just super cool. Just so many elements of it. And I love that. I love that they just went full out with this game. And I hope you love it too. So, the video is going to be just on the base game. As with the DLC, I don't believe I've gone through it enough to really fully appreciate and have enough really to say about it. So this will just be based off of the base game, which there's a lot to talk about in terms of areas and all of that. So, but the video will be in 3 parts in terms of it'll cover the majority of it being about the land, and then the NPCs, and then we will finish off with bosses. And again, they all just connect so wonderfully. So I will also quickly say the character that I have will be in different armor for a few bits of the video, but for the vast majority will be in the same outfit, so just as a word there. So, but yeah, I look forward to just gushing about this wonderful, beautiful game that FromSoft created. And I hope you look forward to listening about my thoughts and just enjoying the scenery of different areas. So let's begin. And now we come out from a wonderful tutorial for the game, and we open the door and we come to the first steps of Limgrave. Now we see just some wonderful visual tellings here, where you see Castle Stormveil, you see the ever looming Erdtree, you see a church, you see some other ruins, you see a bunch of things that are just visually telling you these are things you could go do. And I just love being able to see in the distance the Forge of the Giants, which you will not get to for a long while. And again, just being able to see so much just in this first little bit of the game. I really, really love it. It's just so good. And yeah, just the colors, the way the rays from the tree just hit. It is a wonderful, amazing feeling, especially on that first ever playthrough. And it's just so ever present, that tree. And here we see just gatefront and just how much, you know, just Godric's soldiers are here and whatnot, and it's just such a wonderful little bit of area. And we come to Stormhill, which again is just constantly windy, and I love that. And here we see the entrance to Mistwood, and again just that Erdtree and a divine tower there, and just again just the way the colors all work and mesh together is so good. It's, yeah. And of course, when I first played this, I went through Mistwood at night, so it was a lot different of a vibe. But again, even in the daytime, it is such a interesting area to me, with a few little interesting secrets and such. But being able to also see the bears there and all that is really cool. And now we're just here at this beach, again seeing the Erdtree and being below what is Caelid. And again, you can kind of barely see some of what Caelid is. And again, crabs and a minor Erdtree, and I just, again, it's, and look at this, like the colors of the sky, the bridge, and just the waters and the way the rays just come down, and the rain is such a wonderful, wonderful touch, and adds, in my opinion, so much. Which is why Weeping Peninsula is such a wonderful, great area as well, and complements Limgrave as a whole. And yeah, again, you see more a church, and there's some ruins and that, and I just love it. It's such a really cool, unique, amazing world that they built. And again, just the golden rays, the Erdtree, and all that. And now we ride up past a church, seeing the Erdtree, and we come to a red sky, and we find ourselves in a wonderfully horrific, hellish landscape that is Caelid. Again, the first time I came across this area, it was uneasy. It was an uneasy feeling, I would say. And even still, all this time of playing the game and all that, I feel like I've still not located all the secrets of Caelid. And I love that. I love that about a lot of the areas, really. But again, Caelid is just so wonderfully horrific about what happened and all that, and the many different creatures that you'll find here, all the large crows and dog creatures and the scarlet rot just everywhere. It has such a wonderful alien, almost beauty to it. It's disturbing, but also strangely beautiful at the same time. Just the way of the decay and the way things just, well, have ended up because of what happened in the lore and all. Yeah, Caelid is weirdly one of the locations I really do love, and I mean, I love all the locations, but... And as you see, we are in the heart of Aeonia, where you have literal just geysers of rot spewing out, and I just really love it. It's really cool and terrifying, but it's just really cool. I like it. And again, just the way everything is just designed. Again, the colors of the red sky and the way things are designed. It's a testament to how good FromSoft is as a dev. And they do this stuff the best. And again, just I love this area, and it's also very weird just seeing the rain with the red, and the red sky kind of dimming a little bit as mist, and it's just such a really cool effect that I could just gush over how wonderful colors are in this game. And as you see, Radahn's castle that we go to in order to go to the Radahn festival and fight Radahn, which is really, really cool. Horrific, and, you know, like so many other things about this game, but I really, really love it. I love how it all just makes sense, all these different locations, how they all connect and how they all just work together. And now we come to Castle Stormveil, home of Godric the Grafted. Also the first legacy dungeon that you'll probably be coming across in the game. Now, I love the layout, and again, just I love how much the Erd Tree is just visible from all angles in so much of the game. But again, Castle Stormveil, home of Godric the Grafted. Now you see these arms and limbs and all just strewn out through the place, and it's a horrifying bit of storytelling that the castle will be showing you. And again, just some wonderful bits and pieces throughout the castle showing how connected the characters are, and also kind of showcasing what each of them are like and what you're basically going to be dealing with as you go through the castle, and with the boss fight at the end of most of these, which I find really cool. And as you just go through, there's so many secrets, so many different pathways in all the legacy dungeons, but I feel like with all the time I've played this game, I feel like I've not found every bit. And again, as I've mentioned before, I really love that I have that feeling that I've not found everything. So it keeps every playthrough feeling very, very fresh. And again, I just love the design. I love the gold bits around the brickwork. Basically, it's so good. And as we come down here, we come across another very interesting bit. And of course, this is where we get the Prince of Death's pustule. And just, again, just more lore stuff that is very, very interesting. Just the whole thing of death and all that with this game is really interesting. And as we see here, here's Godric's arena, which will showcase Godric in the boss section, but seeing the dragon here and just the graves and everything, so much visual storytelling, just visual goodness throughout all of this. I just love how just everything, the statues, the throne here, and just so much. And how, again, so much everything connects. Again, I'm not showing every single bit of every single location because that would take a long time, but just kind of highlighting each area best I can, basically. And again, there's, the ghost NPC there, and just as we come out this way, we will be coming all the way to the wonderful vista that is Liurnia, which is just a wonderful, wonderful location. Now, again, as you see from here, you can see the Giant's Forge, and just one of the most wonderful vistas in the game. A game with many amazing vistas. You could see Raya Lucaria there, as Liurnia is home to it. And Liurnia is just so wonderful and mysterious, and it has a few different moods. When it's sunny, it is one of the most gorgeous places in the game. When it's rainy and misty, it is very mysterious, and it's, again, just different sorts of moods, and I love that. There's also the rare instance where it's like super uber foggy, and I love that as well. I love all the moods that Liurnia just gives. It adds to that mysterious feel of it. And again, you're just constantly reminded of the giant Erd tree, and also where you will be going in the game. Because you can see Mount Gelmir off in the distance. You can see, obviously, like I said, Raya Lucaria. You can see the Giant's Forge and all that. And again, I just love how much this game just shows how everything is connected and how wonderful it is and its connection together. And again, I just love the vast amounts of water and ruins. Just I would love to see Liurnia in its its heyday, like just at its peak. I think that'd be really, really cool to see, but we kind of are always supposed to see glimpses of what it was at one point. And again, I didn't really get it, didn't really catch it, but I didn't really get any good nighttime around Liurnia. Didn't really get a good nighttime scene because the moon is gorgeous wherever you are. And because, and here is Turtle Pope. We all love him. He is awesome. And yeah, and just so much of this area is just has some really great caves, have some great catacombs to go in. Also, it's where you go to meet with Ronnie and that whole group. And obviously we go to Raya Lucaria, which is, in my opinion, a really, really wonderful legacy dungeon with a very underrated and, I believe, great boss in Rennala. Again, there's just so much. I always feel like whenever I go through Raya Lucaria that I go through it in such a way that I either find something new about it or whatever. And see, again, here's just this great shot of the moon with the Haligtree and just how wonderful this game is at catching a vibe. And, down there is Rennala, who we will talk about later. And now we go and move up the elevator. Now there's a couple of ways of getting to the next area. Of course, there's, this way of getting the medallions together and going up the elevator, and there's the ruin-strewn precipice. I didn't get any footage of that, sadly, because again, I didn't get footage of every little thing because this video would take a long time to do. But yeah, again, I just love Liurnia. It is one of my favorite, just in terms of vibes. And yeah, we are heading towards Altus Plateau, which again, I just find to be another huge, great area. And again, the colors. Love the colors of this whole area. I just really love that you can go a couple different ways to get up to Altus. And again, another thing I love is just the autumn vibes that it has. Just the yellow, golden sky, the trees, the way that they're colored and all that. They just did such a wonderful job with, again, the vibe of this area. And there are quite a few mini caves and other places you can fight things, find some interesting stuff. And again, the city of Leyndell is here, which we will come back to later. And again, just looking at, and again, you can see the mountaintops way over there. And again, you just get a sense of how well everything is connected, like I said a bit ago. And there's Wormface, which is fun. And the Windmill Village, as we see, it's another very interesting and kind of a creepy area, yeah, let's say. Just having the dancing and whatnot. But again, it's just such a Really, really cool area. Again, it's foggy here, but again, just random weather, which is cool. But preferred, obviously, having it all the time golden, but still, it gives a nice vibe and ambience to it, regardless. And there's the Shaded Castle, which is an interesting area. I feel like I don't go there enough whenever I play it, but it's definitely a interesting area. All the different the poison and such, and certain characters that it might be that it is connected to, and all that. Yeah, again, just love the sky, love this area, and I just had to make a stop at this particular spot because the way the lighting was just hitting was too good. And again, that's just another thing about this game, is that there's just moments that will just leave you awestruck, basically, with how just gorgeous this game is. And as we see, we go down into the Shaded Castle, and these statues and interesting placements that they have and all that. And we continue to go onward, and
I am Melania, Blade of Mikola.
And you see we have a certain character there on the wall. And then we go towards Mount Gelmir, which is a war-torn, not great welcoming place, let's say. It does lead us all the way to Volcano Manor, though. But again, the vibe is very poignant of what happens and what happened here. And just the craggy mountain that it is really, really interesting, especially when you see it from afar in places like Liurnia, and just, climbing it is a thing. But as you see, there's Volcano Manor and just, all the birds and such, and this crater here, which features a fun boss. And I loved that coloring, the golden tree, the purples, and all that. And now we're in Volcano Manor proper, which has some really, really wonderful music that I just love. It adds so much to the foreboding of it, and also the reds and all that. I didn't get enough, I feel like, of the entirety of Volcano Manor. That is one thing I wish I did get, was more of it, but still, going through the area proper is a pretty nifty thing, personally. The snake people, and seeing what all the different things that they did, and yeah. Again, I really like just so much about it that I think I don't hear enough people really praise Volcano Manor, but I really, really like what they did with the area. And plus it features one really cool boss in Rykard, whom I love, but we'll talk about him later. But yeah, just this whole volcano lava town, it's really cool, and just a really neat aesthetic that is, again, a vibe. And this is Rykard's arena, and you see the chandeliers and whatnot, and it's quite nifty. I like it a lot. And yeah, it's just some cool stuff. I love it. And now we're back to Altus Plateau proper. And heading into Leyndell, which is one of my, is actually probably my favorite like city location that they have done. And I just love the layout of it. Because you can get, I feel like you can get lost in it, and I love that. I also love that I feel like every time I go into Leyndell, I always find something different and new. I say that a lot about a lot of the areas and places you go to in this game, but I really do feel like I always see something new each time, or something I forgot about, or whatever. And yeah, just again, the golden everything is just so prominent that, and again, these war-torn area here, that's again just the visual storytelling of the entire game is pretty unmatched in my opinion. And I just love that we further go on and we get closer to the tree, and just it gets larger and larger, and I love that sense of scale that the entire game has. I just love that tree, just huge and foreboding and just always there. And again, you can see the mountaintops of the giants over there, which is cool. And yeah, we're just gonna head on into Leyndell proper. And I feel like I could have gotten a lot more in Leyndell. I feel like I could have gotten a lot more in a lot of areas, but again, if I did get all I probably could have, this would take a lot longer. But I probably could have made a video about each location individually, and probably would have had more time to breathe for each location. But again, just love Leyndell's music. I love it a lot. I love the lead in to it, walking into it, and just seeing this visual, seeing the dragon, just everything just is fantastic. It never ceases to hit for me, like the Liurnia thing. But, and again, the tree is much larger as we are very, very close to it. But again, I just love heading on down into Leyndell and exploring it and finding all these different little rooms and all that, and the way they, again, just the way everything connects and everything just, there's a story, I feel, that's in every little location in this game, every area in the game. And yeah, it's just, they did such a wonderful job. They just did. And I just cannot get enough. And now we're gonna listen to this for a little bit. And yeah, that is kind of another example of just something I love in this game. Just little bits like that. Just finding people playing music and all that. And again, it just adds so much to every area, finding little things like that. Now, I wish I did get some footage of the bats singing, but again, that's another one of those slight oversights that I wish I could have gotten, but oh well. But again, just that visual right there, just the scale of it is insane, and I love it. Again, just so much of the area is just so well done. And now we're in the subterranean shunning ground, which on first playthrough I really did not like, but it's a very interesting location. And it just adds so much that there's this, this whole sewer system down here, and what sort of things come down here, and what sort of things, you can find. But I didn't really want to get a lot of footage of the area because but I wanted to find some of the important parts of it. And again, here's another thing. And there is another thing that is down here that, yeah. Anyway, we go up the dragon here, and again, just scaling this thing is just one of the coolest things, and just seeing all the different things down there, and again, Leyndell's like the game where so many things are just wonderfully connected together, and just again shows how, again, the overall game is wonderful and makes sense. And here we've come across the Round Table Hold in Leyndell, which was really, really cool to come across. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting when I found it. And yeah, I love the Round Table Hold. It is probably my favorite hub area in the Souls series. I love that you can interact with different characters, and I love the aesthetic of it. I love the vibe of it. I love the different characters, like I said, you can run into and talk to, and get quests from and do quests for them and such. But yeah, I love so much that, again, it's a lore thing that I'm not getting into with this video because, well, it's not a lore video obviously, but again, I love how everything connects. I keep saying that, but I love how it all just makes sense to me. And yeah, it's things like this is just really cool to come across in the games. Just like, you know, all the different sorts of people that may have come here and in the past, and oh, it's so cool. Like, yeah, I think here I was trying to like get every bit of this roundtable hold as possible because, well, why shouldn't I? But of course, in this roundtable hold, we open the door and there's not a two fingers here. So, which, yeah. But that is still cool. I love so much of this area that it is just super, super good. And again, just taking my time, just enjoying all of it, and just loving the level design, really. It's just super good. And yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of really all what I mostly have to say about finding this roundtable hold here. It's cool. The roundtable hold is an awesome area. It's my favorite hub. And yeah. So on to the next part. Heading on up to... Now, like a lot of other players, I probably found the chest that sent me here. And I was massively confused when that happened, and coming across this area, I was like, huh. So, yeah, that's the thing that I loved that. I loved that moment, but I kind of wish it didn't get spoiled for me. I kind of wish I could have come to Leyndell and found that on my own without having to be teleported, but it's still cool that that kind of thing happened and whatnot. There's a few others in the game that do that. But yeah, I just find the climb up to the Erd Tree where we would fight the Golden Godfrey here, and eventually we'd get to the point where we fight Morgott, who was an awesome fight, but I'm not going to talk too much about him yet because, well, he's in the boss section of the video. So, but yeah, just the way this all connects, the way it all just connects together, and I love it so much. I love all of it. It is so well done, and the tree roots and coming up here and you know, just getting ever so closer to the Erd Tree. And again, seeing the mountaintops off in the distance, it's cool. I love it. And it's just so well done. Again, Leyndell is... I could have shown a lot more, but... And again, we come to this lovely room, which I love. I love it. Again, a lot of lore stuff that I'm not talking about, obviously, so... But, which is, again, I love the lore of Elden Ring. And it's some awesome, awesome stuff. With some awesome, interesting, well-done characters, who I find all very intriguing and interesting. So, but of course, up here we would be fighting Morgott at this point in the game, and yeah, it's so wonderfully designed. I love how all of it looks. But we are heading towards the Forbidden Lands area, and which is basically the connected bits between Leyndell and Mountaintops. And it's a very lot more creepier vibe right after the gold and all that with Leyndell and Altus. It's definitely a different sort of vibe, but I like it. I think it's an interesting location. There's not a ton in it, but it's a nice little connecting area, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's... I know you can fight a Knight's Cavalry and a Gargoyle. Yeah. So again, it's a very, very foggy location and snowy and just overall kind of a creepy vibe. But still love it. Still find it a really nifty in-between area. And yeah, so now we're going to be heading on up to the mountaintops of the Giants, and another area that I really, really love, because mountaintops is cool. And there's some really interesting stuff to go see there, which again, I didn't get as much as I probably could or should have, but it is such a neat area that I can't, again, gush over the aesthetic of it and the vibe of it. It's really, really cool. But we'll get to that when we actually properly get there. This is another trip up a elevator that we have taken, and yeah, I love these elevators. I love the statues. I love how they work. I love it all. But yeah, we just walk on, and eventually we'll, come across the title card of the Mountaintops. There we go. And I just find it... I love the little spirit animals. I love the trees like that. I love that you come across a ruin first thing, and it's quite cold. It is a quite cold vibe, let's say. as it should, because it is a snowy mountain. That I love snow areas in games. Where I live, I don't get a lot of snow, so it's really cool in areas in games where you have that. And I just came across this random shot here, and I just loved just chilling right here. I love the color, the icy and the gold together. And as we see, the long bridge from this point to the next point of the mountaintops. And again, there's a lot to mountaintops I feel that I either don't go to or forget about, or I find something new every time I go there. Which again, I love that about Elden Ring, that regardless of how long I've played it, that I find new and interesting things about each and every area. But yeah, it's also just really cool to finally come to the area that where we saw in the very beginning at the first steps. You could see the furnace of the giants or whatever. And you can see it from the very beginning, and we are, now in the area where that is. And again, it just showcases and how good they are about making everything make sense in terms of connection and just the overall way the world works. And again, I just love it a lot. I love the vibe of this place. Again, I could have gotten a whole lot more footage, but I love the snow. I love the snow and all the everything about it. It's so good. But yeah, it's again the ruins, really nice touch, with the snow and lightning. Castle Sol, which is another interesting castle that I find to be pretty interesting, with one of the pieces that you have to get to the way to go to the Haligtree, which is cool. Of course, we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But Castle Sol with the eclipse thing, banners and whatnot, it's really neat. It's really cool having just this castle like this in the state that it's in the snow. It's an interesting aesthetic and vibe that I just really dig, basically. And from here you can see the Haligtree, and I find that really cool. There's actually a few locations I remember that you can kind of see it, but we'll get to that eventually. But now we are on our good friend Torrent, and going on past a lot of things. So yeah. And it's just like, I feel like with this fort here, I feel like I've only been in there like once or twice ever. I don't know why. Again, I do plan on doing a playthrough of Elden Ring where I try to go to as many places as possible to either kind of remind myself of locations or, things like that. Along with quests and such. But yeah, again, I love as you go on further up the mountaintops, the sky gets like this gray red thing with as you go further up, along with the Erdtree just kind of being itself. And yeah, it's some good stuff. And again, the horrifying thing of all the giants being impaled the way they are and such, it is horrific. Lots of things happened here. Again, lore stuff that, yeah. So this is obviously the fire giant arena that we are just riding around with Torrent, and it is an open space because it should be, because fire giant is huge and a cool boss. And I love the design of fire giant, but yeah. So yeah, so we're just kind of, going all up to the forge, and we're not going to be doing the burning the Erdtree yet. So, but I think, but yeah, I feel like there's more to Mountaintops I could have shown. I feel like I could have shown a lot more of more areas, but I kind of was tempted to make, instead of doing this one long thing of each area, just kind of doing each individual area like that. But maybe if I feel like doing that, it'll happen. But yeah, so it's really cool. Just finally coming to the Forge of the Giants, which we see from the very start of the game, just far off in the distance. You don't know what it is. So, but anyway, now we're going down another elevator, and this time to Consecrated Snowfields, which obviously will be going to the Haligtree. And I wish after I was done with doing all the recording, I wish I got footage of my favorite cave in the game, because the cave where you have, like, it's really icy and you have all that, and you have, like, the jellyfish and whatnot in it, and it's really, really cool. I wish I got footage of it, because it is my favorite cave, but I just didn't really focus on doing caves and things like that with the video, because I feel like if I were going to show a few caves, I would show a lot more, but I didn't. So, but the cave, that one cave, is really, really cool. But yeah, we are in the hidden path of the Haligtree, and there's some secrets here that are cool, and I just kind of point out, oh yes, go down there, and it's cool. But yeah, this Consecrated Snowfields on its own is kind of an interesting area, because there's a few things you can do here. Obviously the Haligtree. There's a few bosses. There's a double Knights Cavalry fight that you can get into. I love the trees here as well. I love the blizzard aesthetic of the area, and you can get to Moog this way, which is awesome. Again, just showcasing the multiple ways of getting to certain locations. I love it. And we are in this lovely area that leads us to the Haligtree. And there is some strange editing that I did there, but I don't know why, but whatever. So trying to get to the Haligtree is a event, basically, and it is fun. And now we come to the Haligtree. Now, the first time I went through the Haligtree, I didn't love it. But it, like so many other things, I grew to actually really, really find the Haligtree to be really cool and a neat area. Also, again, because lore stuff and lore can definitely make an area a lot more cool. But even like without that, I just kind of being able to appreciate the architecture, the vibes, everything about it just really, really is great in this area. And these statues, yeah, the statues of Miquella and Malenia, and it's a thing. And we just, again, it's one of those things of the first time you go through, you don't know, if you don't know who exactly these two are going to be, unless, if you're not paying too much attention. It's, once you start putting the pieces together, it's like, oh, okay. It puts them into a little bit of a different light. Because again, lore stuff between Malenia and Miquella are, yeah. So we come here, and I love this place's aesthetic. It's so good. And again, I feel like I could have gotten a whole lot more from this location, but I just didn't. But I don't want to keep saying that, so again, just there's a lot of stuff in this location that's really, really well done, and I appreciate what they did with it. I really do. Even though it is, on the first playthrough, rather hard. Most locations are rather hard first time playing them, but this location was a little much on my first playthrough. But again, like I said, I've come to love it, and again, that is the whole waterfall of rot is just lovely. And yeah, I just really, really have come to love it. I love the vibes. Again, the vibes of the area, I just love the vibes and the lore and everything just once again coming together for a really, really amazing area. And obviously this is where we, we're near where we would face Malenia. And I love coming across the bud here and whatnot, but you can find obviously before you face off with her and whatnot. But obviously when I got this footage, I already beaten her, and so, you know. But yeah, it's the whole bloom, the whole, you know, that whole thing is just really, really, really powerful and tragic. But yeah. So yeah, so that was the Haligtree. I feel like I could have gotten a little bit more, but whatever. So on to the next area, my favorite area. And now, my favorite area in the entire game. Now, I still love how I came across the underground area. I was in Limgrave, I was in the Mistwood, and a bear was chasing me, and I was like, oh crap, and I just see this building, and I'm like, screw it, and go inside, and I was like, okay, there's an elevator, oh, I might find something interesting here, who knows. It's away from the bear. And then the elevator kept going and going and going, and the longer it went, I was just like, okay. So that was just my first reaction to the underground area. Second was, okay, so there's an entire bit underground. Okay. Third was, my goodness, this is gorgeous. And I just... I mean, what... I could just gush about how much I love the entire section. You know, Shifa River, Noxtella, Nokron, the whole thing. But I just love how, again, it connects all very well. And it's just such a gorgeous area. The fake night sky, basically. And again, I love how the underground teases Mogwin dynasty, mausoleum or whatever. It's like, this is where you're going to be ending up and such. It's again kind of like how in, you know, the overworld, where you see, you know, the Forge of the Giants, and you see, you know, that's the location you're trying to get to. Obviously the Erd Tree, but, you know, that's the location you're going to get to post that. And I just love, again, how everything is just connected and makes sense, and I love it. I love all of it. Again, I love the architecture of everywhere in the underground. I love the enemies you find down here. I love finding the Regal Ancestor Spirit, which is a boss. Both of them I love. I don't care, you fight them twice. They are different versions. I love them both. And yeah, just it's such a cool area that will always be my favorite. location of Elden Ring, and probably my favorite FromSoft area in general. I love it. It's kind of like where I love the snowy environment. I also love, I don't know exactly the sort of area you would consider, I guess, underground cities. Like, underground cities is always a concept that I love. And here we are in Nokron, speaking of, and I just love it. I just love the idea of having these big underground cities that had or have their own culture, their own everything about them. Because I love all the lore about the Nox. I love it's just all super cool, and I love going through it. I always do all of it whenever I play Elden Ring. It's probably why I sometimes may not do certain things in other areas, because I'm definitely going to do all the underground because it is my favorite area. Of course, I want to do the whole thing. And just aesthetically, just art direction, level direction, everything about this area is just so wonderful and beautiful and gorgeous and amazing. And I just love the idea of like walking through here and just like this Moog is just over there waiting, and of course Miquella's arm and all that. But yeah, just Nokron is really cool. I love just, again, I love how their architecture is different from, other parts of the game architecture, and it shows you that there are multiple different cultures. And again, it just, I love it. And I think the other thing, because it's, the underground stuff is all basically pretty much connected to my favorite character and my favorite quest line in the game, Rane. And just, I love just everything about it, and tied to my favorite character, tied to my favorite quest line to do, tied to my favorite just vibe of the game. And I think I was going through this area and I was like, just this whole game is just full of vibes, basically, and no area is, in my opinion, no other area beats this, in my opinion. But there are other great areas, obviously, with great vibes and whatnot, but the way this area feels for me is second to none, let's say. But again, I love the giant statue. It feels like it's going to be something that's going to like reach down and like grab you, and I don't know, I love it. But yeah. Of course, there's another ancestor spirit, which I love. And I will continue to say I love it because I love those bosses. And yeah, this one I mean, but I really, really love it. Made a little mistake right there, but that's okay. Did not mean to take a sip. And yeah, it's again, the whole underground city thing is just a thing I love. And I would love for them to do something similar to it in future games. But yeah, it's a cool looking area. I love just hanging around it so much, and it has some of my favorite ways of getting around in the game. Getting into a coffin and going up or down a waterfall. I love it. I really do. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what we do get in a new single player FromSoft game, because I really would love to see them work with underground cities again and see what more they possibly could do with it. More of that concept. Not saying like a whole game has to be based on that or anything, but I would like to see that again. It'd be cool. Or anything they want to do, because it's FromSoft, and yeah. But yeah, so coffin traversal is fun, and I do love, like, I'm trying to think like how the character, the Tarnished, is thinking about whatever going in that is kind of funny, like, what the heck? But then again, probably by this point you're like, just kind of going with it. But yeah, deep root depths. Another neat part of the underground area, where obviously you would eventually go fight Fortisax, and if you're doing the Fia questline, which I love that quest as well, which also that's tied with some lore stuff with some important things. And again, this is kind of another vibe that and there's some stuff about deep root depths that I find intriguing about the placement of it and all that, but again, that's, you know, I did mess up here. There was HUD, whatever. But again, this right here, great visual of, well, you know who. And it's such a good and terrifying and horrifying visual, and it just is great. I love it. And here we are with another coffin. So just gonna travel down again. But yeah, I love it. There are things like this it makes me remind myself of why I love FromSoft games. They do things like this, and I love it. It's cool. But, I do find it funny that I did choose, like, DLC armor or whatever for this video, and I'm not even doing any DLC stuff. But still, I like the aesthetic. But, yeah. So, Ainsel River. Again, another really nice river location in the underground that I love. Again, the statues of this fellow are just everywhere. He's also everywhere up on the mainland, or the main area above ground, and some interesting stuff about that. And there's the Lake of Rot down there. That is the Lake of Rot. It's quite horrifying, to put it nicely. And again, another one of those statues, which are cool, which I love. And again, I feel like they're gonna like reach out and grab, but yeah. So we are into the next area, Noxtella. Yeah, and I love the Nox lore and their looks and all the weapons they use and how they work, and it's really, really cool. I find it to be very intriguing. And yeah, we just keep on going, and I love that you fight giant ants down here, and obviously you have some basilisks around and some other enemies, and I love the variety that you find actually in the underground sections. Of course, there are Nox riding ants, which is pretty fun. And again, now we come all the way down proper to the Lake of Rot, which is lovely. It is a lovely location. It is the most gorgeous, beautiful vibes we could have. It is a vibe, though. Like, it is... yeah. And we are in the Grand Cloister. Yeah. And again, I love the architecture here. I love the coloring with the fire and rot and all that. And now we're trying to get to another coffin, because we got to get to other locations. And yeah, so there's not really much that needs to be shown about the Lake of Rot anyway. There's some stuff in there, but you look at it and you're like, you get the vibe of it. So, but we do get to go into another coffin, which we do get to go fight Estelle, who is pretty cool, and one of the best, like, cosmic horror bosses that I think they've done. Because, yes, Elden Ring does some cosmic horror, and I like a lot of it. It is all really, really good and cool, as someone who likes that sort of thing. But yeah, it's I love the underground. It is a special location to me. It will always be a memory in my mind that first time playing it, going down the elevator all the way down and just being like, what's going on? And just really, really loving all of it. So, yeah, I feel like, I don't know like how many other people have the underground as their favorite area. It is mine. But, again, I just love the fake starry sky. It's really, really, really cool to me, so... But, I love the music. I love the music that plays with the, Regal Ancestor Spirit. It is... I guess I could probably should say, in the boss section, it is going to be the music that plays throughout the whole thing, because I'm not going to have all of the boss music for every single boss that we show, so, because I would get tonal whiplash in terms of like awesome heroic music to Ancestor Spirit music, which is, you know, a different vibe. All amazing music. The soundtrack of Elden Ring is fantastic. Anyway, the Hill of Albinarchs, just hanging out, just relaxing, and we are getting closer to Mohgwyn Palace, where Mohg resides, and again, just the bloody river, basically. It's quite something, and I love it. And like it could come off as like, oh, that's really edgy, but for some, like, it fits obviously with Mohg and his whole lore and everything, and it fits because it's over here and not the whole game, and it all fits and makes sense. As again, I've mentioned many times, everything just connects. Everything makes sense with how everything just is connected. But again, I just vibe with the architecture of this location. I love all of it. I love, again, the vibe of Mohgwyn Palace. And there is a giant cocoon with Miquella. And obviously the starter of the DLC and all that. And I love this arena. It's so good. And I don't know who this person is. I don't know why they're in the video. I don't know who that is. So they're just there. But yeah, so anyway. And here's the burning roundtable hold, because we have now burned the Liurnia and all that, so everything is like this. Now, I didn't know exactly how to get a better transition between going from Mountaintops to Farum Azula, but because I wanted to show the Melina stuff in the NPCs, so. But I, again, love the roundtable hold. I love just walking around in it. I love interacting with people. I love just the whole of it. And the two fingers is, yeah. But, again, also my favorite blacksmith in the series. His whole story going throughout the whole game is sad, and I feel for him and her. Anyway, off to Farum Azula, which I find really, really amazing. I love the idea of having this floating, ruined city, ancient city, with storms and tornadoes and all that just constantly going. I love the look, the aesthetic, the vibe of Farum Azula, all the dragons. My favorite dragon in Souls is here in Placidusax. We'll get to him again, so. But I love everything about Farum Azula as well. I love the ruined aspects of it. I love that you have to be careful. You have to be careful in this location, and it's so amazing. And just, again, I love the different architecture. It's just really, really good. And there's so much to really say about, because there's so much that goes on in so many locations. But I love the beastmen. They're really, really cool. Of course, Malakath is also here. Malakath is a awesome, amazing boss as well. And yeah, it's just really good. I love it. Because I love that this is obviously more crumbling, more ruined, and I love that shot I got of the burning Erd tree, and you have the forge of the giants there, and you can see so much of the land. What I love is, like, you can't really see Farum Azula too good, if at all, really, from the ground, but you can see some of the other locations of the game, and I don't know, it's just so good. And again, even though it is its own separate thing in the sky, it still connects. Everything, again, just connects so wonderfully, in my opinion. And yeah, just all these, like, I sometimes imagine, like, what it smells like in these locations, and just, I can imagine just, like, super old, ruined, dusty, you know. I don't want to think about what Caelid smells like, but yeah, like, it's just really cool. Like, I feel like you're going throughout Farum Azula, you're some kind of archaeologist, just uncovering things and mysteries about the location and the people of Farum Azula. And again, I love all the dragon stuff. Dragons in Elden Ring are super cool. Aesthetically, they're they are my favorite that they've done. And again, I just love having these tornadoes constantly going and going, and it's kind of another one of those things where I would love to see Farum Azula in its heyday, basically. Kind of like how I feel about Liurnia. I would love to see both of these locations in like their prime, would just be cool. And here we are, by the way, just chilling, which is fun. Yeah, it's all just very, very good stuff. Like, again, just imagining just how much goes on here in its heyday and what goes on and all that just really, really intrigues me and gets my mind going. It just, you know, you get bits and pieces, obviously, from the visual storytelling and all that and the lore and such you come across, but again, the dragon lore of Elden Ring is cool. I love them. And it's I don't know. It's sometimes it's kind of hard to come up with words about what, you know, feeling and whatnot. But of course, here's Malakath's arena. It's really, really cool. It fits the boss fight perfectly, and love coming up to this statue. It's just that visual right there. I love. And yeah, so that was pretty much, well, we still have one more, but yeah, we defeat Malakath, obviously, and we decide to, well, let's burn everything, because yeah. And I love the direction of cutscenes. All of the cutscenes. The rune of death is unbound. Again, I love the direction of the cutscenes and just how they work and how they're shot and how they're, you know, narrated and everything. I just love it. I love what they have done with this game. And everyone gets to look at the burning tree. And yeah, it's such good direction just throughout in basically all categories. But anyway, after that, we come and back to Leyndell, but it is now Ashen. And yeah, it's quite something. It is quite a thing just coming across this, and now there's not a ton to do in Ashen Leyndell or Ashen Capital. There's not a ton to do here, but obviously to go fight, you know, a few boss fights and all that in the game, and all, obviously, but there's a couple of amulets and, you know, things, and you can go back down to Shunning Ground, and you can, yeah, but obviously, everything being ash is a much different vibe. Obviously, to what we were saying with Leyndell earlier, of being this really nice city. But it is a poignant end of the game, though, I would say, of burning the tree, everything here becoming ash, and I love it. Because I love that it's at the end of the game, and the game is not ashy looking from the start. You have, you build up. It happens at the end of the game, and I like that. It's just, it kind of has that feeling of you're at the end and you've been through a lot, and now we come to NPCs, and there are so many NPCs in this game that I obviously could not get all of them. I kind of just wanted to focus on specific ones, and again, kind of showing more of the round table hold and the people that are around there and such. And they did such a wonderful job with the NPCs, the quest lines, the voice acting of so many of them are just so well done, and I just love what they did with the NPCs of the game. Because this is the first Souls game where I feel like I care about multiple things, multiple characters, and quest lines, and just I think it's definitely the first Souls game that's made me like really feel about a lot of the NPCs and characters, outside of like, one or two in other games. This one has just so many. And here's the Two Fingers normal. It is a scary vibe and should not be trusted, and but still it is an interesting part of the overall connected world of Elden Ring. And yeah, and like as I mentioned, Hugh is one of the best characters. I love, as you go through the game, where he's at with dealing with things, and it's so good, and I do legitimately feel bad for him. He is a great character, and his connection with Roderica is great. I love the two of them. I love how both of them are in the game. They're both extremely, helpful with gameplay, but also it's not just that. The more you learn about them, the more in depth they get. The more you learn, the better you understand them, the more you care for what they do and say and all of that. And again, it's just such a brilliant thing that the writing with this game made me really care about so many people, and I love it. And there's Fia, who has a very interesting quest line, and she just intrigues me. Her whole everything just is very intriguing to me. Of course, eventually leading to Fortisax. So I will say I did not get footage of him, so don't expect footage of that fight, because when I tried, it got messed up and I beat him, so yeah. But, you know, I'm not showing the whole quest line, of course, but come across this part, and she had to kill for reasons, and it's, yeah, she's a very, very interesting character. And I always do her questline because I like fighting Fortisax. So that's another reason. But again, I just find her quite intriguing to deal with. And she, yeah, so I think the first Elden Lord ending I did was hers, so take that what you will in terms of how I think about her as a character. But I just find it all very, very intriguing. And yeah, it's just how death works in the whole land. It makes her a lot more interesting to me, and yeah, and she gives good hugs. And now here's Alexander, who I did not get the first initial meeting with him, sadly, but I love Alexander. Alexander is cool. He's a cool guy. Again, I feel very sad at the end of his questline because, yeah, I love Alexander though. He's a very well done character who just, yeah. I mean, he's a giant jar guy, and he's just cool. He's just a cool guy to vibe with, let's say. And of course you can summon him in the Radon fight, which is awesome. Yeah, I just love Alexander. He's cool. I love him. And I always get a kick out of every time I see him and such, so little sneaky Blythe back there in the background. But yeah, just Alexander's an interesting character. That's about as, you know, he's cool. His quest is quite good, and I enjoy it, so, and finding all the different things he gets into. And there's Gowry. He's obviously tied with Millicent, and how Millicent is tied with the Rod and Melania and all that, and yeah. And he's interesting. He is interesting. Yeah. But we'll be getting onto Millicent here. There she is. And her quest line is quite a time. You can get some good rewards with however you do her quest line. And I feel she's again another character I feel for, because regardless of what happens, it's but again, the writing of a lot of these quest lines, Millicent is right up there for me in terms of really good feels for that character sort of thing. So yeah, I love her quest line. She's cool. And you do get some good gear and get some good such and whatnot. But and also she comes in a lot of different locations. She comes and which is really nice. So like you meet her in Caelid and whatnot, you revive her and whatnot, and obviously she'll come to the Haligtree eventually, and it'll, it all comes to a head there with her quest line, but it's all really, really good. And it's kind of it's a testament to the writing and the quest design of, even after knowing the outcome of certain characters, whether how tragic it could be or what have you, to do it multiple times and always find something new about the quest line, something different that they say, and or something you catch up on what they say and all that, which I really, really love. Again, it's kind of like exploring in the world. You'll find something new and different every time you converse with these characters and all that. And again, she says there, I am of Millennia's blood. So, yeah. She's interesting. And, just some really, really fantastic writing. A lot of the characters, again, just fall under that. It's not really, because I've not done every quest line, but yeah. And as you see here at the end of her quest line, it is quite sad. It's tragic that, but she was able to be her own person. So in the end, it was, I guess, worth it. So, and yeah, it's just very, very well done, and great character, just a great, fantastic character. And just how the Scarlet Rot is in lore and what it does to characters, and yeah, it's a thing that is sad. And we come to Shapriri, who I didn't get but just this scene, but yeah, where he yells about the chaos taking the world and all that, and the whole quest line that he's involved with, and the quest line basically in terms of all the madness stuff is a thing. So I have done once with a different character. And it's just, it's all still interesting. Like, cause they could go with the whole madness angle, and it could be just kind of, I don't know, like typical madness sort of thing, but they managed to make it really, really interesting. Still, you know, I would never really go out of my way to do any of the stuff per se. Like I did the chaos ending once, and I don't want to do it again, so it was enjoyable getting it for the one time, and yeah, I'd rather go with the ending I generally like going with now, so. But, yeah, so Butcher Brewery and all of that is an interesting character. So, yeah, again, there's not much really for me to really say on the character. There's some really interesting lore, some great, cool lore there, but yeah. Anyway, so we move on to Jaren, who has a very cool outfit. And he has a cool outfit. Yeah, he's an interesting one. And there's Ichi, who I love. I love Ichi. I love the team of Ichi, Blythe, and Ronnie. I don't care about Celivis. He's still interesting though, but I adore Ichi, Blythe, and Ronnie, and all of them. I do. They're my favorite, you know. And there's my boy. Blythe is my boy. He is the coolest. And I love that they could have very easily made him like this really gruff wolf, like with his voice and whatnot, but I really, really love they did not do that. I love that he has a really nice, cool Welsh accent, and I love it. But Blythe is just awesome, and I love him from the first time I saw him. And he's a cool dude. He's a cool guy. And again, what happens with him is tragic and sad, and I always feel whenever that happens, but he's awesome. He is an awesome character, and just one of my absolute favorites. Like, I'd probably say Ronnie, my favorite character, and Blythe is like right there. Because again, they're tied, so like tied together and such. So, and I love it. I love them. And I just had to get this perfect shot. Also showing how friggin' tall he is, but him with the moon, it's just great. I just thought it was a good shot. And Blythe is cool. That I could just say that over and over again. Blythe is awesome and cool, and I want, you know, I just love him as a character. And yeah, so I want more Blythe stuff as well. That's just me. I don't know. I love him. So anyway. And now we move on to different outfit. Anyway, but now we move on to Melina, who is awesome and has awesome writing, and I love her character as well. And she's pretty cool. She, obviously saves us and whatnot Torrent finds us, and she, with Torrent and all that, and it's just really, really cool. And we'll get to it, but she is a fantastic character. And I didn't get every single time she comes and speaks with us, but I love the companionship she has as well throughout the whole game as we go along. And I really, really love that if you do choose the Lord of Chaos ending, she is mad, and rightfully so mad about that. And yeah, that's another reason why I don't like doing it, because I don't really want to have her upset over that. So, but I think the other thing is, the more I think about Melina and in the overall story and lore of Elden Ring, the more interesting I find her, because she is, again, way up there in terms of character quality and writing and all of that, in terms of the characters in the game and FromSoft characters in general, really. And yeah, I just love her, and I love her aesthetic. It's simple but memorable. That's another thing I love about the characters of Elden Ring. There's some characters that are, very memorable with how, much there is to their character and whatnot. And there's some characters that are simple, but again, her look is memorable, but also because she is also a very interesting, cool, well done character. And yeah, so again, I just love that she is like Torrent, along for the ride, almost. Like, she doesn't come with us necessarily, but in a way she kind of does, because you come across different locations and she'll, like I said, as you see, pop up and speak to you at different churches and talks to you about America and all the other stuff that you're doing and whatnot. And I love it because she also does really good, lore, and she tells you about America and what America's said and etc. and all of it. And yeah, it's, again, what happens with, I believe, the upcoming scene, where, she has to be the one to burn the tree herself, because lore reasons and all that. And it makes me sad every time. But obviously it's an understanding kind of a thing. And still, though, maybe we'll get to it when the scene actually happens, but I do love it. I do legitimately love, again, the directing of the scene and the voice acting and everything that she says. But I'm just, watching the scene, and because the thing is, like, the Lord of Chaos ending is just, in my opinion, just kind of I don't know. It's like, it's really beautiful, like, in terms of the way it looks and whatnot in the ending, but I don't love doing it, so I really don't. So yeah, she takes it on herself and she does the burning, which I find a lot more powerful and a lot more, again, poignant. And yeah, it's just really, really well done. Directing, and the way she, like, just turns, and it's to you. Thank you, It always kind of just hits, whenever it happens. And yeah, that's it for Melina. And now we come across my favorite character. And of course, that is Ranni, who is, in my opinion, by far the most intriguing character you physically come up and meet and talk with and such, because of her, what she's done in past lore, and she is actively wanting to make things actually better for everyone, basically. And she is also honest with what she says and what she's done. But again, I love, as you go through her quest line, she comes off across as cold and whatnot, and then as you do more for her and do more, learning about such things and all that, she opens up more. And again, character progression, she really, you and she really connect, and obviously that comes to a head in the ending with her, who is my favorite ending. And again, just a lot of things you do in the quest line I really, really, really love. Like, I love the whole coming to here and having the whole place turn on its, self and whatnot, and it's cool. I love that. I love so much about it. Again, it's just FromSoft being really, really cool in level design, art design, all levels of design. And yeah, as you go, you come to the Divine Tower of Liurnia, where you will find Ranni's body at the top of, because again, what happens in lore and all that, and the realization and the reality of, like, oh, okay, that's, yeah. So it's also good. It's her characters is so good. And yeah. And again, this is another location I wish I got more of. Moonlight Altar. It is one of the most beautiful locations. I didn't really know where to like put it though, because it is technically in Liurnia, but I thought this would make more sense than the Ronnie part of the NPCs, just because. But I wish I got more of it, but I love it. I love the whole moon thing and everything about it. And you see the slain Two Fingers, and giving her the ring that you get. I really, really love it. Love the, again, I keep saying it, love the direction. Love it. It's simple, yet effective. And powerful. This plus the ending and all that. It's, like, I love that shot. It's one of my favorite shots in the game. Your character and her, and it's great. I love it. And of course, you know, he's like, good job, you did it. And yeah, so that's pretty much all there is for the NPC section. Again, I love so many quest lines. I could have tried to get everyone, but again, would have made it much longer. But there's so much good in this game with its NPCs. So, and yeah, so one last section of the video to go. We have bosses coming up, and we're just chill with Renala, who I love in the game, and love that she allows you to respec and all that. So, among other things, she's a very fascinating, tragic character who I love, but we'll talk more about her when we get to it. So now we head on to the bosses. Different armor. Yeah, so obviously leading off we have Margit, who is a perfect first boss. First main boss. Because you can go fight, you know, other bosses and whatnot, but intended first boss, I should say. He's just cool. Again, first time I played it, frustrating, but he really, really is a great teacher of the game and how the game is going to be. And now we come to Godric, who is also a fun fight, and I find, yeah, I think he's one of those characters, like, I find him very intriguing in lore as well. I find him intriguing as a boss fight. I find him intriguing just across the board. He has some really great music as well. Love his design, because I feel like they could have made this feel over-designed, but somehow it doesn't come across that way. All the arms and all that, but it just makes sense in the terms of Elden Ring, and I really, really love that a lot. And of course, his second phase. And it's just really, really good. Directing across the board. The presentation of the bosses are fantastic. They have personalities. They feel like you're actually fighting someone who has again, like I said, a personality, and like there's a real purpose to fight them. And I really, really love that. I love that also that they're not like faceless knight types. They're not, there is more to them, and I love it. And now we come back to Rennala, and I love the Rennala boss fight. And my gosh, my character is quite pale in that shot, but again, I find Rennala to be, like I said, a very intriguing and tragic character with what happens in the game, lore and all that. But again, as a fight, I find her to be very entertaining. The first phase is a little, tricky, like, okay, this is, once you get it, it's not hard or anything, but it's fun. I find it fun, at least. And I love her look. It's great. And I do find second phase Rennala to be pretty darn amazing as well. And again, this is the first time you will, well, it's not true. The first time I heard Rane, because I didn't get to meet her, or I didn't meet her when you were supposed to get the summoning bell in my first playthrough. So that happened. So I kind of had a strange way of learning about Rane and all of them. So, and I love the Carian royal people. Rennala's cool. I love the whole moon aesthetic. I love this arena is just gorgeous. And I love it. I love the second phase of this fight. I love magic bosses. She is great. And now we're going to have the cutscene for Radahn, who is another awesome boss fight, who has some fantastic build-up and presentation to him. I love Radahn. I love his boss fight. It is an epic bunch of people going up against this once great general, and who is, as you see, quite consumed by the Scarlet Rot. Again, there's lore and all that, which is fantastic, and his backstory is really great. And of course, once you beat him, which again is a fantastic fight, he was holding back the stars, and he was holding back certain cosmic entities, which is, again, just showcases how strong of a character he is. And I really, really love that. Because, again, his lore is great. And now we come to Morgott, who, again, is another great villain. Again, at first I was confused. I was like, but I thought I beat you. When I beat Margit and whatnot, I was like, but I thought I beat you. And then when I realized, oh, that makes sense. When I had that realization, that makes sense. And yeah. Morgott's great. I love this scene. He, you know, talking about all the other demigods and whatnot. Again, part of me really wanted to keep, you know, the cutscene audio in, but it would have been kind of weird with me trying to commentate on top of it. But, trying to get the audio right and all that. But, yeah, Morgott is a great feeling fight, and again, cutscene, direction, vibes, it's all there. It's all great. I love it. He is an extremely fun fight. And again, the scale of him, the scale of so many of these bosses, and yeah. And now, time for everyone's favorite Snake Man. Again, just fantastic performance. And I love everything about Rykard. He is just, yeah, it's Rykard. I think, what else can I really say that hasn't been said about his presentation, which again is phenomenal, and the fight is just fantastic, and it is the best version of the Storm Ruler, and I have no idea how they're going to top it, because my gosh, it is so well done and so fun. And again, Rykard is a character I would like to see in the past, see what he was like, or see what, you know, other things. And then there's Fire Giant, who is pretty awesome. A pretty large enemy, and he's cool. He's really, really cool to me. He reminds me a lot of these illustrations of giants in this one book. I forget what it's called, and I forget like who wrote it or whatever. It reminded me a lot of that, and I just really, really loved everything about his design and the presentation and all of it. And I enjoy the fight overall. It's a good one. It's a little tough like at first when you first face him or whatever, but once you get a hang of it, it's not too bad. And now we're to Malenia. And of course everyone had fun fighting her, I know. And the presentation, again, I say this every single time, the presentation, the directing of these scenes, and her voice acting is phenomenal. Her design, it's great. And Yeah, I love it. It's just fantastic. So, yeah. I still kind of want to go back to my self when I first beat her, and like, I don't care when she's like, you know, I failed and whatnot, and I kind of want to go back and like smack myself a little bit, but it was in the heat of the moment, because she is quite a cool boss. I love her aesthetic, love the boss fight, love the mechanics of the fight. Because once you get a hang of it, you're like, okay, this is, you know, manageable. It's hard, but it is manageable and fun to learn and get a hang of it. And yes, she is Liurnia, Blade of Miquella. Now, of course, I love Phase 2. I absolutely love the franticness of Phase 2 and how it just, yeah. Wait. And then she does this. And the directing, just visual, everything is on, you know, at the top of their game with it. And I love this whole look. It's so good. And it becomes a horrifying fight at this point. But I love it. I love Phase 2. I love Phase 1 too, but Phase 2 is really, really just something else. And now we come to my favorite boss. I love Mohg. I love this whole fight. I love the direction of this first cutscene. I love his music. I love his design. I love his voice acting. I love every bit of this fight. It is... And I love that you have to face him. You have to beat him in order to do the DLC. I love that, because I'm like, face my favorite boss of the game? Sure. That's not a hard one for me, so... But, again, I love the... just direction of this, and just he comes out of the pool of blood. And again, it's his lore is also very interesting because he and Morgott are, you know, and I love it. He's great. I love everything about his fight. It's perfect to me, so. And now, my favorite dragon. Or getting to my favorite dragon, I should say. I don't know why I'm going over there for, but my favorite dragon. And this cutscene is amazing. I love this scene. It is just fantastic. And the whole turning back time thing, everything building back up, and just, I love it. Because this is the best glimpse I think we get of what Farum Azula was like. And it's such a small piece. I wish we could, see more, but I understand. Obviously because there's lore and all that reasons why. So, and of course now we wake up to see this perfection of visual of Placidusax just hanging up there in the air. And that is just one of my favorite shots. Like, it's so good. He is my favorite dragon. Just, he's so cool. And also I love him as a fight. The fight is great. But like, this visual here, like, come on. It's great. It's just so good. Yeah, it's so good. I love Placidusax. He is great. And now, Malakath, another boss I really love. It's almost like there's a pattern with this game. There's so many bosses I love. But, what was really cool though, because if you do the stuff for Garank and whatnot, coming across him, like, if you're not paying attention and you're not like putting pieces together, it's kind of like when you see him, like, oh, and then everything kind of comes to, and then the more you learn about Malakath and all of it, it's so interesting. So, and I love Malakath's armor. It is the black with the gold trimming and throughout. It's so has the sword. It's great. I love it. I love all of it. And that pose, that shot is perfect. And now, time for my only actual gameplay of this whole thing. Because I was not going to not show Regal Ancestor Spirit. Now, of course, I kill it both quickly, but... And there's a reason why I chose its music for the boss things, because it is... It's such a special boss. Like, it's kind of like in its own sort of tier. Like, it's hard for me to, like, actually rank both bosses. Because... it's such a unique fight. It's like a spiritual thing, and I love both of them. Because yes, I did both of them. So and again, I could have probably shown gameplay of all the fighting all the bosses, but I wanted to make sure to at least do this, because I love just how spiritual feeling this music, the fight is, and just everything. I could have fought a little better, but still. Yeah. Anyway, so on to Godfrey / Horalu. Yet again, another boss fight I love. I know, it's a trend, so... But, Godfrey's lore is also really, really fantastic, and what it means for the Tarnished and everything, and his connections to everything. Again, I just love that the bosses feel like actual people that you are encountering, and again, they have personalities, they have all of this going for them, and they have just such wonderful presentation. And I really, really appreciated the work that FromSoft did in the base game of showing the main bosses and just how much personality there is to them and what their character are like and just everything. And he's just so cool. He is just really, really cool. I love Godfrey. But of course, second phase. Yeah, it's just brutal, but cool. And again, I love both phases, because I love how different both phases feel and play. But both phases have one thing in common. It is super fun to dodge him. You know, dodge, attack, all of it. It is super fun in both phases, in my opinion, so. But, yeah, so Godfrey to Horalu, and it's all great stuff. He now fights as Horalu, warrior. And now we come to the final battle. We enter the Erdtree. We say hello to America. And just the visual again. The directing, the everything again about this whole cutscene is just perfection, and again, the whole America is Radagon thing. I love the changing of the color, the changing of the hair color and all that. And it's great. I love it. It's just perfect. It really is. And again, Radagon, very fun fight. Love dodging his attacks. Love fighting that. And yeah, he's good. And then phase 2. where we fight Elden Beast, who is quite the good, like, culmination of everything fight. And I love the music of Elden Beast. I love how ethereal it is. I love Elden Beast basically using them as a weapon. It's really visually fantastic. It's such a good fight. Like, it's such a cool visual fight that presentation just is so good. But yeah, that is it for the bosses. I have a few other little things I kind of want to showcase, but again, I love that shot. It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, I wanted to show the three fingers. I just wanted to, because it is an interesting scene that should be shown, in my opinion. But yeah, it's, again, I love the idea of having something like this way down in the sewer, like storytelling wise and lore wise. It's just, I love that. But yeah, so it's creepy for sure, and the whole thing of it is yeah, the whole Three Fingers lore and the Chaos lore and all that is interesting, like I've alluded to. But again, very good direction, good shot making, but don't worry, that's not what we did there. We did not go with the Three Fingers. But I just kind of wanted to look around the arena here, and I just found it really, really interesting. And now you can, you know, go to there and get a different ending, but you know, I had to go with my favorite ending, and yeah, so this has been a long time coming. I've been wanting to do this video for a bit, and I finally got around to finishing it. I know I've been updating about it for a while, and yeah, but this ending, so good. It's just gorgeously directed, everything about it, so good. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do another long form video like this anytime soon. I just mostly wanted to talk about how much I love the vibes and everything about Elden Ring without having it, you know, come off as a review. I know a lot of it was pretty rambly, but I feel like that kind of fit more with this video, just kind of seeing all the stuff that happens and all of that, and just kind of commentating on scenes when it happens and such. And I just love this game. It is a special game for me, and I look forward to having a full playthrough of it again. Hopefully soon. So, I thoroughly love and enjoy this game. It is just a great time, and yeah. And I guess thank you for watching, and if you could, like, leave some comments if you want to, subscribe if you'd like to, share it if you'd like, and yeah, so I have a Twitch channel that you can watch me live. I upload them all on here on YouTube, so yeah, so anyway, so thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being awesome.